Start taking notes.
So as I stated on my Instagram, I told you guys I was going to make a Funko overview of my collection. This is going to be a pretty quick video. I don't really have too many. I think I have 30 total, so not that many compared to like true Funko collectors who have like 600 and can't see their like wall paint. I'm not going to show you guys the boxes, but I'm just going to go through each pop and then like how I got it, and if there's a story behind it, I'll talk about that. A decent amount of them I just got because I thought they looked cool. And without further ado, we'll just get right to it and look at these Funkos. Okay, so it's pretty much going to be my Marvel Legends collection. I'm just going to go from left to right and then talk about each pop. First one up is Mega Man. So I used to watch this show. I forgot if it was called like Mega Man X or something like that. I don't even remember the name of the show, but I used to really like the character Proto Man, and you're probably wondering why I didn't get Proto Man instead. I like this guy because it reminds me of actually Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I would pick him, and I would pick Cable, and that's how I would beat the last boss and with Strider too. So Mega Man, Strider, and Cable. Overall, it's just a cool pop. Looks cool. Kind of a vanilla pose, but I've never had any problems with vanilla poses. So there's that guy. Kane, yo, straight from the childhood. The WWE games, like on Nintendo 64 and PlayStation, were some of the most fun games when I was a kid, back in the 90s. So shout out to 90s kids. I would play video games with my cousins all the time. This is the guy I would pick. He would always pick Undertaker, and I would always pick Kane. So that's where this comes from. And I wasn't gonna buy like a figure. I know they have the SH figure arts. I wasn't going to spend that much money on like Kane. He's a cool character and stuff like that, but I wouldn't spend that much money on a character like, you know, unless it was like a Marvel character. That's what I'm into mainly. Let's see, right here. This is actually one of my most recent additions to the fam. And this guy, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie, but I wouldn't see myself buying a Superman figure at any point. So that's why I got this guy. I like that it's the statue version of him. I just think it's cool. I like pops that are different, not necessarily just characters. This is technically just a statue, you know, so that's cool. Yeah, let's see. This right here, again, straight from the childhood. I used to watch my brother and my cousin play Tekken 2. I know Devil Jin wasn't in Tekken. Devil, just the character Devil was. But this was the guy I used to pick when we would play the other Tekken games. And Jin will forever be my favorite character as far as Tekken goes. So really like this is a GameStop exclusive, so I actually ordered this one online. So this was one of my first pops that I got. So it's just, there you go. And towards the end of the video, I will talk about like which one's my favorite, which one I got first, and stuff like that. So again, it's just every story that's associated with each. Right here. When I was a kid, Power Rangers was my shit. I absolutely love Power Rangers. I've seen that movie, sadly, like probably like 40 times, to be completely honest with you. Most of them were when I was a kid. Right here, this is the only Power Ranger I'll get as a Funko, and probably this was the only one I'll get as a figure. And it's because the White Ranger's obviously he's the leader. He's my favorite Power Ranger, and it just when I see this guy, I just think of memories. You know, I think of like my childhood. That's what a lot of these are too, and you know. I think that's why a lot of people get and respond to Funko, because they have things from every generation. It's like stuff you wouldn't even imagine they have made a Funko pop up. So okay, so we're gonna just do a quick jump cut and move to the right. Alrighty, so really quick, let's just continue on with these Funkos. This is actually one of the last ones that I got. I used some store credit at a store that I had, and it is one of my favorites for sure. This one is going to have a special purpose in my collection, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later after I get through the rest of them. But really cool. It's just a, you know, it's not necessarily the character. It's just Freddy Funko, the guy who created it. It's like an alter ego for him. And they have different ones. They have him in a red spacesuit. They have him as other characters like Willy Wonka and stuff like that. Just really cool. I always like this. I was always looking for that 11 with this helmet, the water helmet. I just think it's cool that they put that around the Funko Pops. So, again, I'm going to talk about this guy a little bit later. So we'll keep him to the side. Right here, this Funko, not necessarily my favorite movie, Suicide Squad. Not necessarily my favorite character in anything either. But this guy holds a special place. Oh shit, I didn't even know he had a tattoo on the back of his head. That's cool. I got this guy at Walgreens the first time I went on a fig hunt, toy hunt with Bad Karma on Instagram. Carlos, aka Carlos. So shout out to him. I don't know if he's gonna watch this, but if he's not, your ass is gonna get deleted off IG. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool aesthetic, and he's one of the more popular characters. So I like the way it looks, and wasn't too bad at Walgreens. So for the price. I'm gonna reach all the way in the back here. Sorry if the camera's kind of weird and the lighting's kind of off. I'm just using my desk, and I'm using a textbook with my phone taped to it, as that's why I can use both hands while filming. Right here, Space Jam, straight up childhood, dude. I've seen that movie so many times. Such a good movie. When I see this pop, I think of me and my cousin watching Space Jam and how good of a movie it was. At least back then. I don't know. It might be kind of weird now. As far as just like the storyline, it's like an acid trip, I feel like. But no, that's what I think of. You know, Michael Jordan was totally like a childhood hero, so that's what I think of when I see this pop, is like watching it with my cousin in Las Vegas, Nevada. Right here. So as some of you guys know, I work at Brad's Toys in Las Vegas, Nevada. They have two locations, one at the Meadows Mall. If you're ever out here, go to Brad's Toys. They have one at the Meadows Mall and then one on Boulder Highway, so look them up. I only started going there last September, and I wasn't really into Funkos here and there, but I went to their, I remember they were doing something for Black Friday, and they pretty much promised everybody a Funko goodie bag, first 100 people in the door. So that's what this guy is. The guy in front of me got a chase, which is fine. I'm cool with this one. Again, it's not a franchise that I own any figures in, so it works perfectly, so I'm not breaking any of my Funko rules that I have set up. And that's that. So, just cool. I haven't really played Skyrim. That's what this is from, but just a cool looking pop, cool sword, so I'll show you the back really quick. Yep. So there's that one. We'll go right here. You're gonna hear me say this so many times, like this is straight out of childhood. This is straight out of childhood, yeah, because it is. This is one of the best like Disney movies. I believe it's, I don't know if it's Pixar or not, but it is for sure a Disney movie. Really cool. I remember watching this when I was a kid, and this is actually the Ready Player One Funko. So it's not the Iron Giant one. I believe they have an Iron Giant specific Funko line, just like one or two of them, which are actually kind of rare. But just a cool movie. I never knew he was voiced by Vin Diesel. Also, if you see Ready Player One, that is a great movie, man. I saw that in theaters with my cousin. Super good movie, very entertaining the whole way through. So that's where this guy comes from, straight up to childhood. Just seeing that movie was great. It was slightly emotional for a movie that was just like about a robot and his human friend, so that was interesting. Maybe it's because I was just a kid. Right here, always used to play Mortal Kombat. This is my guy right here. There's two types of people in this world, guys. Scorpion people and Sub-Zero people. Fuck the rest of the characters. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, this guy is awesome. I used to watch freaking Mortal Kombat the movie at my cousin's house, play this video game. It wasn't this specific Sub-Zero. I just got it because it's the character that I used to pick. And man, I remember like Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That movie was garbage, but just funny. Funny because of how bad it was. Back then, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I always pick this guy. I like the way he can just like, you know, clone himself in ice, throw ice at you and stuff like that. Just a cool character overall. Love the aesthetic. I was Sub-Zero for Halloween once actually, so you can add that to the list. One of my favorite cartoons of all time, Scooby-Doo. Used to watch this at my friend's house way back in the day. I'm not reaching for the past, by the way. These do bring up nostalgia, make you feel that way, but I'm not like longing for my my younger years. I just think it's cool to have these. The way I consider Funkos, it's like they're like little mementos. That's how I see them. So this one's vaulted, if I believe so. A friend of mine at Brad's Toys, he was like, yeah, that one's vaulted, so it's the last one that they'll have. They're not going to be producing him anymore. So I like Scooby-Doo, so I was like, you know what, I'll get it. I didn't know if they, at the time, I didn't know if they had a flocked version of Scooby or anything like that, but I don't actually own any flocked Funko Pops, so at some point I'm going to get some. Alright guys, we're going to pan to the right really quick with a cut. Alright guys, moving right along, we'll go with this Jason. So this is kind of getting into the non-like nostalgia territory. I never saw Friday the 13th. I know that's probably crazy to some of you guys. I like the way this guy looks. Here, let me focus the light a little bit on him. I like the way this guy looks. I like the 8-bit Funkos. This is the only one I have, I believe. Yeah, but they're totally badass. Like the Alien, the Xenomorph one is cool. The Freddy one is cool. Even the Mega Man one was slightly tempting, but this one's really cool. I like it. I wanted the NES version, couldn't get a hold of them. They stopped pre-orders at GameStop for whatever reason. But I think I was just having a shitty week, and I went to the toy shop by my house, again Brad's Toys, and I was like, you know what? This was my mood. This was my mood. I know you guys have seen like that meme where it's just like a picture of Jason and it just says current mood. So that's why I got this one, and it just looked cool. I always wanted the this 8-bit guy, so pretty badass. Here we go. This one right here, I am glad that I waited for the second wave of It Pops. I really enjoyed the movie. It was good. It was deeper than just like jump scares and like just general horror. It had like adult themes to it. Really cool pop. I love the way the teeth are, and then the spider legs are awesome too. I'm glad I waited for the second wave. I think this is better than any of the It Pops in the first wave. So really cool one. I went to go see the movie with a really good friend of mine, and it was just a good memory, you know. So that's why I got this pop. I'm not necessarily like a super horror fan. I like horror for sure, but I'm not like a fanatic. I wouldn't get like tattoos and stuff like that. But again, just saw this with a really good friend of mine and enjoyed it. So it's associated with a good memory, even though it's fucking hideous. So here we go. 2 words. Dreamcast. Technically, yeah, that's 2 words, but it's 1 for the system. Sonic Adventure. Like, do I need to say any more? That's straight childhood, man. I loved playing Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. This guy was my favorite character. I liked him better than Sonic. They don't have like the super version of him, like Ultimate or whatever it was called. I don't think so, at least. They might. I don't know for sure, but I wanted to get him anyway. So I pre-ordered this at Brad's Toys, and when it came in, I went to go grab it. Really cool pop, just very simple, and I don't own any of these franchises. I don't own any other figures from different lines, so that's why I get the Funko version. And I don't see myself buying like a Sonic toy or anything like that, so I got the Funko. Cool character overall. So I know nothing about this character right here. There's the box right there. I know absolutely not one single thing about this character. The only thing I know is that it's his name and that he's from Overwatch. I just like the way this one looks. Aesthetically, it's pleasing. It's like Zen, man. He's floating too. I like the way that they have the base and he's floating up like that. It's cool. He reminds me of Yoshimitsu from Tekken, kind of like a mechanical, like ninja type thing. But I have no idea what this character's about. It's the only Overwatch pop that I was into, so I grabbed him. Just a cool Zen-looking character. So maybe some of you guys can tell me what he's all about in the comments. Additionally, know nothing, not one damn thing about this character. But I do know, 1, it is a heavier pop. 2, he looks like Darth, I think it's Malgus or whatever, Malik or whatever the hell his name is, from Knights of the Old Republic. You could totally paint this black. And I definitely considered this to be my maybe first ever custom Funko. I was going to paint this black and make him look like the Star Wars guy. Just a cool pop. I know he's from Destiny. I know he's like a boss or whatever in the single player. I asked somebody when I was getting him, like what he was all about. Really cool, like whatever that is on his back, it's pretty badass looking. I don't know if it's a gun or like a jetpack or something. Overall, just a good pop. I like the way it looks, like the details. and it has a nice shelf presence to it for sure. Okay. God of War, man. I had a friend a couple years ago. He was buying a PS4 and he was like, dude, I want you to have my PS3. So I was like, okay, cool. After I got that PS3, I started going back into all the games that I missed for the like PlayStation consoles. So here, let me adjust the light really quick, guys. Production value to the max. God of War is cool. I haven't played God of War. It would be 4. They just call it God of War, but it's a fun game for sure. It's cool, like all the like mythology and stuff like that. I still need to finish the second one. The second one. Good looking pop. Got it from GameStop, and I'm just happy with the purchase. A lot of details. And some of these Funko, man, they have insane amount of details, like just little things to separate them from each other. This is kind of what got me back into Funko, this pop right here. If you're like me, I love Stranger Things. The second season was miles ahead of the first season. The first season was great, and the second season, in my opinion, topped it. I feel like I have 2 pops here with the Michael Myers head right there. Overall, just cool pop. I'm not going to get any other Stranger Things one. I was trying to get the 11 with the water helmet, and by the time I was like getting into these types of things, these pops, she was long gone. So if you see one that's a Hot Top exclusive, honestly, just jump on it. Even you may think it's going to stay around forever, but it's not, man. These exclusives, that's one thing I do know about Funko is like the exclusives leave the shelves really quick. So yeah, overall cool pop. I like the way like it just has that mask on top. So, and they use the Funko eyes for that. So pretty dope. Max is the character. Right here, my first 6-inch Funko, BioShock. Love that game. This is cool because I wanted a Big Daddy, and I didn't necessarily want the Funko, but I wanted it to look like a Big Daddy. Eyes on Funkos are round, as are these in the game for BioShock. So this doesn't even look like a Funko Pop. Oh shit, production value, my bad. It just looks like a Big Daddy like figure, pretty much. But again, it is a Funko Pop. I was thinking about like making it into like rust colors and stuff like that, or like just worn, like a worn look, like a darker copper and like a green, like a teal, like it's been in the ocean for a while. Still might do that. It would just take some time, so we'll see. Pretty cool. Pretty rare right now. I've seen it for $55, like in box. Obviously, I don't have it in box, but still rare. This was my Black Friday Songbird. So you're probably thinking like, oh, dude, you don't get 2 of the same franchise. That's one of my rules in Funko, in the Funko collecting thing. I don't get 2 of the same franchise. This is BioShock Infinite, whereas this guy was BioShock the original. So that's how I justified it. I wasn't just like, oh, they're both cool. And trust me, there have been times where I'm like, damn, that Funko's cool, and I really want to get it, but I tamed myself. So Songbird from BioShock Infinite, harder to get sometimes. It looks good. It's more of a mechanical look. I like that, and it is 6-inch. I got this. Somebody traded it in at Brad's Toys, and I got it on Black Friday. So again, one of the more rare ones. Just a cool looking one. I like the red eyes. This is the last of the big ones. Godzilla's cool, man. I remember the movie in 2000. Me and my dad watching that movie. This is when it was on TV. They were showing it on TV, so with I think his name's Matthew Broderick, right? Yeah, so pretty awesome. I just took him out of the box for the first time today, as a lot of these I took them out of the box for the first time today. Just a cool one. I like the remake too with Bryan Cranston. That's awesome as well. So Godzilla's dope. I was gonna get the Jax one, but you know what? I was like, I like the Funko one better. It's more accessible to get. It's available. I don't want to go online to go get the Jax one and not have space for it. So going back straight to the nostalgia factor, man. Crash Bandicoot, a Warp in Time, or whatever, or a Wrath in Time. I don't know what the game was called, but this is straight childhood. I remember but playing this. And having the bazooka with this guy that shot out like those berries or whatever, those mangoes. So this reminds me of me hanging out with my cousin, playing Crash Bandicoot, man. One of the best games for sure on the PlayStation. So we're almost nearing the end. I'm just going to do a quick jump cut, and then we'll be good to go. My Funkos, I know it's crazy. It's like, damn, not that many. Some of you who don't understand like the whole Funko craze, this is really not that many. Blade Runner 2049, loved the movie. This was the first, this and Crash Bandicoot were the first pops that I got from Brad's Toys. The code actually moves, which is pretty cool. Again, they put in small details with each Funko. They're not all just the same mold. Really great movie. That was my movie of the year for 2017. I saw a lot of movies last year, but that was for sure, in my opinion, the best one. Let me adjust the lighting a little bit, guys. So there you go. I hope you guys can see this. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put that over to the side. This one, sometimes you just get Funkos just to get Funkos. I'm not a huge Rick and Morty fan. I haven't seen too many episodes. I know that's like sacrilegious for me to say to some of you. I remember I aced an exam, and it was a harder exam that I had, and I actually got an A on it. That's why I got this. It just reminds me of school. I don't know why. It's Lawyer Morty, that's why. And yeah, not necessarily because I love the show or anything like that. I know it has a huge following, but that's why I got this guy. Just remember me putting in that work for that exam and getting the A. So I hope the lighting is not off. Let's go over here. One of my favorite cartoons of all time, Arnold. Hey Arnold. It's just a dope pop. I mean, there's nothing really too much to say. It reminds me of my childhood yet again. That's what a lot of these do. It's like childhood or just looks cool. That's what it is. Or like it's a game that I really like and I'm not going to buy the figures for. So, just awesome. This reminds me, this is John Wick, by the way. He's got that nice pistol there. Silenced, of course. This reminds me of me, you know, this is about to get philosophical. As you get older, you're in your group of friends, you don't get to hang out as much. People move, people get into relationships, this and that. Their job takes them different places, whatever it may be. John Wick was one of the last times that me and my friends all got together to go like see a movie, just something very basic, and that's why I got this pop, just, you know, in memory of that. So it's simple, and sometimes the best things in life are simple. Last three, guys. Okay, let me adjust the camera. This one right here. I just like Uncharted. It's a cool game, and yeah, it was a nice one. Like, it was a nice one. Uncharted was a fun game. I really like Uncharted 2. It really was one of my more favorite PS3 games. So that's just about it. There's not too much. I didn't know they had any of these guys, the pops, so I jumped on it as soon as I saw it, because I wasn't gonna buy the figures and stuff like that. This right here, believe it or not, this was my first Funko Pop that I ever got. I was never going to buy a Call of Duty action figure. I don't like the detailed action figures of like war, like veterans, not war veterans, or like military personnel and stuff like that. It's just not my thing to collect those. So I was like, you know what? I still really like this character, so I got the Funko version of him. So cool. The eyes are still in there, as you can see. I like the sunglasses. I like the fact that he's wearing the whole mask and getup and the headphones and everything like that. This guy has fallen millions of times on my shelf, but he's still intact somehow, knock on wood. So, again, my first Funko. GameStop exclusive. I don't know if it's GameStop exclusive, but I got it from GameStop. Alright guys, last but not least, I literally got this today. And this is Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Long story short, me and my dad, we don't really go out and do stuff often, but we did go see Jurassic Park when it was re-released in theaters. So that's what this reminds me of. It just reminds me of me going to see a movie with my dad, and yeah, that's that. And he enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the movie too. So, and yeah, it's Jeff Goldblum. So, what more do you need? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put this aside, and we can kind of go over a couple of them that I said I would go over really quickly. Alrighty guys, so this is kind of nearing the end of the video. There's just two pops that I already went over, but I want to go over again. So one of them is my favorite pop in the collection that I like the most, And the other one I told you I was going to show you for a specific purpose. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is the one that's for a specific purpose, and that is this dude right here. Freddy Funko. Just the again, it's a neutral Funko. It's not necessarily a specific character from. It's not even a character from a movie. So this is kind of an obscure reference, but I'm just gonna piece it together for you. Long story short, so I remember back in the day. I don't know how old I was, but it doesn't really matter. I saw this news story where these people stole somebody's garden gnome, and they would travel the world, go on different vacations with this garden gnome, and not necessarily just go on vacations for the garden gnome, but anytime they went on a vacation, they would take a picture of the garden gnome and send a postcard back to the family. And at the end of like the year or a couple of years or whatever, this family had all these postcards of their garden gnome in like Italy, you know, like different vacation spots, Thailand, the Caribbean Isles, whatever. And I just thought that was cool. It was funny. It's like an innocent prank type of thing. I'm not gonna go steal somebody's like property, but what this pop is going to be for me is what I like to call like a vacation pop. I am I'm doing a really, really hard hike at the end of this year in October. I'm going to bring him with me. I'm doing Mount Whitney, if any of you guys have heard of that. It's the highest in the contiguous United States, minus Alaska and Hawaii. It is the highest mountain. So I'm going to bring him and take a picture of him at the top, if all goes right. You'll probably get a video of me doing the hike too, like just the highlights of that hike. And anytime I go on a vacation, I'm going to bring this guy with me, like a major vacation, and just take pictures of him at different places, you know, kind of like a memento. And that's what this guy's going to be for me, just like what that garden gnome was for those people. That's what he's going to be for me. And just take him and just kind of like have a documented picture of each vacation. Maybe like if I go to Rome or something, have him in front of the Colosseum. If I go to Paris, have him in front of the Eiffel Tower. Just different things like that. So that's what this guy's going to be. And then last but not least, guys, my favorite Funko in my collection is this one right here. I think it's aesthetically the best looking, and yeah, that's about it, man. It just has such a shelf presence to it. It's the best looking Funko Pop. I like the spider legs. I honestly, this is like a $15 to $20 pop in my head, but it was only $10, so it's like I really like the way this one looks. The eyes are awesome. It has a shelf presence to it. If you know nothing about it or Funko Pops, this will make you stop if you're walking past it, you know. So it's just the coolest looking one. I like the box as well, which is just right. Let's zoom in right up there. It's just cool. You know, it doesn't hold the most nostalgia or anything like that, but it is aesthetically the most pleasing, and it's the one I like best on my shelf. So I kind of keep it in the middle of my stack. So yeah, that is my favorite one there. Other than that, guys, this is kind of the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put the link to my Instagram in the bottom of my Instagram name in the description. And if there's anything you guys want to comment on or anything like that, let me know about your collection. Feel free to comment down below, leave a like, feel free to subscribe as well. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this is all a lot of production value, just kind of me talking, but sometimes those are the best videos. Hopefully this will be a good video that you'd like to watch. So other than that, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you guys later. Take care.